Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. In today's video, we are going to continue a topic from metallurgy, that is extraction of metals. In the previous video, we saw how to concentrate the ores using different methods, right? We saw hydraulic separation, electromagnetic separation, then froth flotation method, and etc. So in this video, we are going to see how we can extract metals from the ores. The metals at the top of the reactivity series are highly reactive. Their reactivity decreases down the series, right? For example, potassium, sodium, aluminium are reactive metals, and they have large capacity to form cations by losing their electrons in their outermost shell. What do we understand by cations? They are positively charged ions, right? So once you lose electron, you become positively charged. So cations are always formed when metals lose their electrons. For example, reactive metals react vigorously with dilute acids to give hydrogen gas. Always whenever a metal reacts with dilute acids or any acid, it will form hydrogen gas. This we have studied in our previous standards. Highly reactive metals burn by reacting with oxygen from air at room temperature, and their extraction has to be done by electrolytic reduction. Followed? For example, the metals sodium, calcium and magnesium are obtained by electrolysis. Electrolysis means, lysis means breaking down, and electro means for the electric current. Okay, so we are using electric current to break down their molten salts. Correct? Whose molten salts? Sodium's, calcium and magnesium's chloride salts. Okay, you are using electrolysis to break down the salts. In this process, metal is deposited on the cathode while chlorine gas is liberated at the anode. Now you have to understand that cathode is negatively charged and anode is positively charged. Okay. The electrode reactions during the electrolysis of molten sodium chloride to get metallic sodium are as shown below. Now the reaction at cathode will be negatively charged, so positive ions, that is sodium, will move towards it, correct, and it will be reduced with the help of electron and it will form a sodium element, atom, correct, not ion. Na plus is ion, Na is atom. Anode reaction, because it is positively charged, anode is positively charged, so anions will move toward it. Anions means negatively charged, that is Cl. So Cl2 plus 2 electrons, that is they are oxidizing themselves, and sodium ion will be reduced. So basically a redox reaction is taking place. Then extraction of aluminium. Aluminium, being reactive metal, does not occur in nature in free state. Aluminium is the third highly abundant element in the earth crust after oxygen and silicon. Aluminium is extracted from its ore bauxite, okay, which is Al2O3 NH2O. N stands for N number of molecules of aluminium oxide. Bauxite contains 30% to 70% of aluminium oxide, and remaining part is gangue. It is made of sand, silica, iron oxide, etc. There are two steps in the extraction of aluminium. One is concentration of bauxite ore, and second is electrolytic reduction of aluminium. Okay. Bauxite is the main ore of aluminium, correct? Silica, ferric oxide and titanium oxide are the impurities present in bauxite. So you need to separate these impurities. How you will do? You will do that by leaching process using either of the two, Bayer's method or Hall's method. These two methods are for leaching. Okay. In both these methods, finally the concentrated ore is obtained by calcination. Means you are using calcium here. Now what do we do in Bayer's process? In the Bayer's process, the ore is first ground in a ball mill. Then it is leached by heating with concentrated solution of caustic soda at 140 to 150 degrees Celsius under high pressure for about 2 to 8 hours in a digester. Followed? What you are doing? Ore is grounded, then it is leached by heating concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide at high temperature and high pressure in a digester for about 2 to 8 hours. Then aluminium oxide, being amphoteric in nature, it reacts with the aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide to form water soluble sodium aluminate. Amphoteric, ampho means both. Okay, so amphoteric oxide means it can perform oxidizing reactions also and reducing reactions also. This means that bauxite is leached by sodium hydroxide solution. So we have bauxite reacting with sodium hydroxide, okay, and then it will form NaAlO2, that is sodium aluminate, along with water molecule. Please pay attention to the reaction. Bauxite, that is Al2O3.2H2O, is reacting with caustic soda, that is NaOH, forming sodium aluminate, NaAlO2, along with water molecule. Followed? The iron oxide in the gangue does not dissolve in aqueous sodium hydroxide. It is separated by filtration. However, silica in the gangue dissolves in aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide to form water soluble sodium silicate. Aqueous sodium aluminate is diluted by putting in water and is cooled to 50 degrees Celsius. You can see the reaction, and this will result in the precipitation of aluminium hydroxide. Can you see in the reaction? See, in the previous reaction sodium aluminate was formed, correct? Now here sodium aluminate is diluted by putting in water and then it is cooled to 50 degrees Celsius. See here you can see it is around, the temperature is 140 to 150 degrees Celsius. Here it is cooled to 50 degrees Celsius. And because of this, precipitation of aluminium hydroxide, that is AlOH3, takes place. Followed? In Hall's process, what we do is the ore is powdered and then leached by heating with aqueous sodium carbonate. There we use sodium hydroxide for the leaching. Where? In the Bayer's process. So here we are heating with aqueous sodium carbonate in the digester to form water soluble sodium aluminate. Then the insoluble impurities are filtered out. The filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide gas through it. This results in the precipitation of aluminium hydroxide. Now you see here bauxite is heated with aqueous solution of sodium carbonate. Please see the first reaction. Then what is formed? Sodium aluminate is formed again here along with carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Then in the next reaction what we do is we put water and carbon dioxide here. So the filtrate is warmed and neutralized by passing carbon dioxide through it. Which filtrate? The filtrate which is formed in the next reaction, that is AlOH3, aluminium hydroxide. Followed? In the first reaction what is formed? Sodium aluminate. Then this reaction leads to the formation of aluminium hydroxide, correct? which will be neutralized by passing carbon dioxide through it. So ultimately forming sodium carbonate. Followed, students? The precipitate of aluminium hydroxide obtained in both Bayer's and Hall's process is filtered, washed, dried and then calcinated by heating at 1000 degrees Celsius to obtain alumina. This is degree Celsius. Okay, there is a typing mistake over here. So 2AlOH3 will give you Al2O3 aluminium oxide along with water molecules. Then next is so first step is over. Which first step? This one, concentration of bauxite ore. Now we will study second, that is electrolytic reduction of alumina. Okay, here. In this method, electrolysis of molten mixture of alumina is done in a steel tank. You can see the steel tank, correct? The tank has a graphite lining on the inner side. You can see the black lining over there. This lining does the work of a cathode. Means it will be what charge? Cathode will be what charge? Negative. Okay. A set of graphite rods dipped in the molten electrolyte works as anode. Yellow colors you can see. That will be positively charged electrode. Cryolite and fluorspar are added in the mixture to lower its melting point. Whose melting point? The solution's melting point. Okay. So you are putting a mixture of alumina, cryolite and fluorspar. Followed? Then aluminium is deposited on the cathode on passing electric current, because aluminium is positively charged. So cathode are negatively charged. Correct? So aluminium will move towards cathode. Molten aluminium, being heavier than the electrolyte, is collected at the bottom of the tank. It is taken out from there from time to time. Oxygen gas is liberated at the anode, because anode will be what? Negative or positive? It will be positive. Okay. Then the electrode reactions are as follows. At anode, what is happening? Oxygen is released, and at cathode aluminium goes, and finally this aluminium, which is an ion. See, the motto is to reduce the Al3 plus, that is cation, into the atom. So we have to add 3 electrons to it. That reaction will take place at cathode, and finally Al will be formed, that is aluminium atom. The liberated oxygen reacts with the anode to form carbon dioxide gas. The anodes have to be changed from time to time as they get oxidized during the electrolysis of alumina. See, now anode is cathode, anode is graphite here. Graphite is nothing but carbon. So at anode, oxygen is released. So finally oxygen will react with carbon to form carbon dioxide gas. And this anode have to be changed, because they will get oxidized while the electrolysis of alumina is going on. Followed? Extraction of moderately reactive metals. The metals in the middle of the reactivity series, such as iron, zinc, lead, copper, they are moderately reactive. Usually they occur in the form of their sulfide salts or carbonate. It is easier to obtain metals from their oxides rather than sulfides or carbonates. Therefore, the sulfide ores are strongly heated in air to transform them into oxide, and this process is called as roasting. What we do in roasting? Sulfide ores will be strongly heated in air. so that they can get converted into their oxides. Why we want to convert them into their oxides? Because it is easier to obtain metals from their oxides. Whose oxides? These metals. Which metals? The moderately reactive metals. Okay, and this process is called as roasting. Carbonate ores are strongly heated in a limited supply of air to transform them into oxides. This process is called as calcination. Okay. So the following reactions occur during roasting and calcination of zinc ore. What are the two processes? Roasting and calcination. You are taking example of zinc. So you have zinc sulfide. You are allowing it to be roasted in the air, that is oxygen. Okay, so it will become zinc oxide along with sulfur dioxide, right? And then the carbonate, zinc carbonate, will be calcinated. So what happens in calcination? You are strongly heating it in limited supply of air. Then again it will become zinc oxide. The aim is to form zinc oxide. Okay, whether it is a sulfide or a carbonate. Followed, students? So the zinc oxide which is obtained is reduced to zinc by using suitable reductant such as carbon, right? So oxygen will be removed from zinc oxide, forming zinc atom along with carbon monoxide, which is a gas, right, which will be liberated. Apart from carbon, the reactive metals such as sodium, calcium, aluminium are also used as reducing agent for the reduction of metal oxide to obtain the metal. What do we mean by reduction? Wherein when we say reducing, right? So it will you are giving electrons to something. Okay, this is because these metals displace a moderately reactive metal from its compound. For example, when manganese dioxide is ignited, MnO2, okay, manganese dioxide is ignited with aluminium powder, the following reaction will take place, forming manganese, aluminium oxide and heat. The heat evolved in the above reaction is so large that the metal is formed in the molten state. Another similar example is the Thermit reaction. Here iron oxide reacts with aluminium to form iron and aluminium oxide. Followed? So here this Thermit reaction is shown, which is mainly for the production of iron. Okay. Moving on to the extraction of less reactive metals. We saw highly reactive, then moderately reactive. Now this is how we extract less reactive metals. The metals at the bottom of the reactivity series of metals are less reactive. That is why they are found in free state in nature. For example, gold, silver, platinum. The reserves of copper in free state are very few. Presently, copper is found mainly in the form of copper sulfide or copper sulfate. Copper sulfide. Copper is obtained from Cu2s ore just by heating in air. So what we do is Cu2s plus oxygen will give you copper oxide along with SO2, which is a gas again which will be released, sulfur oxide. Followed? I hope these reactions are clear to everybody. Please make sure you learn all the reactions and the extraction process as well. Thank you so much, students, for watching the video.